Fellas, Ian Garry's delusion needs to be stopped. That's right, the same guy that said his trash talk is on the same level as Conor McGregor and Chael Sonnen, the guy that terrorized Neil Magny for the entire build-up of UFC 292 and falsely accused him. If you haven't been seen recently, Ian Garry's been doing a range of interviews with different media members leading up to his fight with Prates in UFC 315 about his place in the welterweight division and the leverage that he thinks he has in the welterweight division. And it is complete bullshit, it's complete delusion. And we're going to be getting into this in this video about Ian Garry's complete delusion over his place in the welterweight division.
You will 100% be in Montreal.
100%. Ain't nothing stopping me. I know how good I am. I know what I'm going to do.
Now, that's a fair point for Ian Garry. You did step in as the backup for UFC 315. You fought Shavkat Rakhmonov, one of the most dangerous contenders at the time, on 21 days' notice. You deserve respect for that. You fought Carlos Prates, this KO artist, on short notice, on 25 days' notice. You deserve respect for that. And you stepped in at 168 pounds on 2 weeks' notice with Belal Muhammad and JDM for the belt. You deserve respect for that. I don't think anyone can really doubt that Ian Garry, you can dislike him, but you've got to give him some respect for the fights that he's been taking and the fact that he is willing to fight anyone in this division.
Saturday night, and I'm going to be there because whoever wins that belt on Saturday night, I'm next. No, Ian Garry, that's not happening. You are right at the back of the queue when it comes to welterweight contenders. How is Shavkat Rakhmonov not the #1 contender, the clear-cut, undeniable #1 contender in this division? He has 3 wins in the top 15 of the welterweight division. You being one of them. He beat you as well. If you've got memory loss, he beat you at UFC 310. He's 19-0 with 18 finishes as well, which is an insane statistic. He got the title fight against Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad pulls out due to a toe injury. You then get the opportunity to fight Shavkat in a title eliminator where Dana White told you that if you win that fight, you get a title fight. And Shavkat beat you. Shavkat beat you in the title eliminator. It wasn't a robbery. It wasn't, make-believe. He got the win. He should be the #1 contender. Or Shavkat Rakhmonov's injured. He's going to be out for quite some time. Does that mean Ian Garry's getting the next title fight because Shavkat's injured? No. Shawn Brady enters the chat. Shawn Brady has 2 wins in the top 10 of the welterweight division. Dominated Leon Edwards, the former champion, who was #1 ranked at the time. And by the way, I think that's the worst we've ever seen Leon Edwards get beaten before. Shawn Brady beat the shit out of him and then got the finish to put the cherry on top. He's 18-1 with his only loss being to former champion Belal Muhammad. He's above Ian Garry as well. What about Joaquin Buckley? 3 wins in the top 15 of the welterweight division. About to make it 4 if he can beat Quaresman, which he probably will do. He's also finished all of them wins. He finished Colby Covington, knocked out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, finished Vicente Luque. He's 21-6, and that might not be the best record in the welterweight division for a top contender, but he's 6-0 since he's come down to the welterweight division, so he's on an undefeated roll at welterweight. And then you've got Ian Garry. Let's just compare Ian Garry. He's got 3 wins in the top 15 of the welterweight division, fair enough. He beat number 10, number 15, and number 13. I mean, what a range of top contenders you're beating there, Ian Garry. Yeah, you're really pushing a case to say that you deserve the next title fight. And by the way, he lost to Shavkat Rakhmonov, so it's not like he's undefeated. He has 0 wins in the top 9 of the division. How can you even call for a title fight? You haven't beaten a single top contender. You haven't beaten anybody in the top 9. That's disgrace. How can you even call for a title fight? 0 wins in the top 9 of the welterweight division, and you want a title fight. Ian, you do not deserve the title fight even after being the backup. Shavkat deserves it more. Shawn Brady deserves it more. 100% agree. Those guys have actually beaten top contenders. You beat nobody. You had the title eliminator where Dana literally said the winner will fight Belal Muhammad for the title early next year, and you lost that fight fair and square. It wasn't a robbery. It wasn't make-believe. You lost a fight to Shavkat Rakhmonov in a title eliminator. He got the title fight. You didn't. That doesn't mean you and Prates is a title eliminator just because you beat number 13 ranked in the division. You don't suddenly deserve a title fight for beating number 13 Carlos Prates. That's not a title eliminator. You're straight to the back of the queue. Look at Shawn Brady, for example. He loses to Belal Muhammad, and then after that he goes out there and finishes Kelvin Gastelum, beats Gilbert Burns in the main event, and then goes out there and finishes Leon Edwards dominantly. 3 wins since he's lost to Belal Muhammad, and he's still willing to fight again. He's called for a fight with Ian Garry before, saying that he wants to fight him for a #1 contender fight. He's happy to fight. So Ian Garry, you're actually right at the back of the queue in the welterweight division. You're not even in the top 3 most deserving contenders in the welterweight division. Stepping in on a fucking weighing scale doesn't give you a title fight. Winning fights over top contenders do.
And I'm next. Whoever wins that fight, if that fight goes ahead, that's my next opponent. You don't take back-to-back short notice fights.
Yeah, see, I don't understand why Ian Garry's making such a big deal of him weighing in on short notice and stepping in on short notice. Like, we can get it. You fought Shavkat on short notice. Shavkat also fought you on short notice as well. Carlos Prates also stepped in on short notice to face you. Where's his props? What about Shawn Brady, who stepped in on short notice to fight former champion Leon Edwards, who had a training camp booked, and he beat the crap out of him? What about Joaquin Buckley? Stepped in on short notice to face Colby Covington, and he beat him too. Nearly every single top contender at welterweight has been fighting on short notice. Are we going to give Kyle Prepolek, somebody in the top 5 for fighting Ben Mercedes, or Kevin Holland, who every single one of his fights is on short notice? Or what about Hamzat Chimaev, who fought twice in a single week and then got another unranked guy after that? What about Kamaru Usman, the guy that you keep shitting on, who fought Hamzat Chimaev, the scariest guy in the UFC, on 10 days notice and went to a very close decision with him? Where's his props for this? I don't know why Ian Garry keeps making a massive deal of him weighing in. If you want the top fights, if you want the title fights, it's a simple path to victory. Beat the top contenders. Stepping in on a fucking weighing scale as 168 pounds is all good, but it doesn't give you the title fights. Winning does.
I'm going to be the next person. I'm the biggest matchup he can get in the division. There's no one gives a rat's about Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, so Ian Garry's clearly not too fond of Joaquin Buckley. I can kind of understand why, but let's just compare Buckley and Ian Garry for comparison's sakes. Joaquin Buckley, 28% decision rate. Ian Garry, 50% decision rate. Joaquin Buckley's gone to a decision once in his last 4 fights. Garry's gone to a decision 5 times in his last 5 fights. His last finish was back in 2022 against D-Rod. Joaquin Buckley's known for getting one of the greatest knockouts in UFC history. Ian Garry's known for nearly getting finished by Carlos Prates. You ran away from Jeff Neal in a boring decision. You clinged onto MVP in a boring decision. You nearly got finished by Carlos Prates. He made you get on your knees for him. For this idiot to think people would be more invested in him fighting for a title over Buckley or Brady is insane. Absolutely nobody wants to watch Ian Garry fight, and I have to agree. I'd rather watch Joaquin Buckley or Shawn Brady get a title fight at this moment in time than Ian Garry. You're just a guy with a microphone who goes to a decision and happens to be pretty good on the feet with good takedown defense. You're not a big draw. Am I crazy for wanting Buckley versus Blay instead of Garry? That was when Blay was the champion, but yeah, I'd rather see Buckley get a title fight at this moment in time than Ian Garry. Joaquin Buckley's ranked higher. He's lucky if Buckley gives him the chance. Again, I agree with this. Buckley's got much more leverage in this division than Ian Garry. So for Ian Garry to talk about him as if he's looking down on Joaquin Buckley, stupid. He's ranked above you. Joaquin Buckley is a bigger fighter in terms of entertainment, in terms of, I'd argue, star power in this division than Ian Garry. I mean, look at his interview compared to Joaquin Buckley's. He view mocks you as well on the same interview. He gets nearly double the views. So in every way, every statistic, Joaquin Buckley actually is a more entertaining fighter than Ian Garry. People care about him a lot more than you.
Will you accept any other fight than a title shot?
No. I don't think I need to.
Well, it's been nice knowing you, Ian Garry, thinking that you can call the shots over the boss, Dana White, the king on the chessboard. You're a pawn to Dana White, are you, Ian Garry? I mean, you've beaten Shavkat Rakhmonov, you beat Carlos Prates, fair enough, but you know who this reminds me of? Gregor Gillespie. He was once on a big winning streak, just like Ian Garry. He took a loss at one point, just like Ian Garry. He gets a bounce-back win, just like Ian Garry, and thinks he deserves all the top contenders in the world, just like Ian Garry, and he was never seen again, potentially just like Ian Garry, and it's not rocket science. If we're going to be seeing JDM versus Islam Makhachev, which has already been announced by Dana White, then why can't we just do Ian Garry versus Shawn Brady as a #1 contender fight? Shawn Brady's humble, Shawn Brady's hungry, Shawn Brady's not a diva, and he's willing to fight a top contender. He's the ideal contender for the welterweight division, unlike Ian Garry, who's like a diva saying that he needs his title fight after he's beaten fucking number 13 ranked Carlos Prates. Fight Brady, beat Brady, and then you're in the conversation.
He's my second most active fighter in the UFC since the day I made my debut.
Just more bullshit from Ian Garry. Your debut was on November 6, 2021. Since then, you've had 10 fights. Kevin Holland's had 11. Charles Johnson's had 11. Sleepy Green's had 11. Joaquin Buckley, the guy that you keep putting down, has also had the same amount of fights as you. Alex Pereira's had 11 fights. You're not even in the top 5 most active fighters since November 6, 2021. So him keep calling that he's this most active fighter that, you know, the UFC needs to give a title shot to. You're not even in the top 5 most active fighters. That's just my thoughts on Ian Garry and his delusion about his place in the welterweight division. Let me know if you agree and if you think Ian's being delusional, and he just is being delusional, man. Go and fight Shawn Brady, go and fight Joaquin Buckley, even fight somebody, just any top contender in the top 5 before you start calling for the shots. You're not the next title fight just because you can step on a scale. Stop being delusional.